Hi, everyone. Update time. I've been on this clean living journey for 13 days, which is basically a lifetime in I used to live on snacks and bad decisions years. But listen, your girl is behind on her channel. Like, so behind that, if procrastination were an Olympic sport, I'd have at least a bronze, maybe a silver if I really trained. And now I'm at that stage where I'm asking myself, am I failing clean living? Or am I just looking for the perfect excuse to go back to my old ways, aka my toxic little comfort zone where fries count as vegetables? But you know what? Forget all that. Forward is forward. I'm trying. I'm showing up. I'm basically a motivational quote with anxiety. So let's continue this journey. Let's pretend we're all organized adults together and let's keep going. If I can survive 13 days of clean living, I can survive anything, including catching up on this channel. Probably. Maybe. No promises. All right, let's do this. Roll the intro. Hi, it's EllenSmile. So I'm on day 13 of trying to eat healthy, and guess what I wanted? Bow tie pasta. Yep, bow tie. Pasta. Now listen, I had to sit myself down and be realistic about my expectations. So I measured out 1 cup of pasta. 1 cup. And as someone who is half Italian, let me tell you, 1 cup of pasta is not a meal. It's not even a snack. It's an appetizer for the appetizer. My ancestors were definitely watching like, that's cute. Where's the rest? But I did it. I measured, I portioned, I justified it like a professional. 'Tis fine. I'm eating less pasta. This is growth. This is discipline. This is sad but necessary. Anyway, cheers to day 13 of healthy living, where the cravings are strong, the portions are tiny, and the Italian guilt is even stronger. And here's my plant based beef getting cozy with a rainbow of veggies, which includes spinach, string beans, carrots, corn, and garlic, all sizzling in olive oil like it's having a little dance party on the stove. While my main dish was cooking, I whipped up a little dessert. I chopped up an apple, added some walnuts, and sprinkled it with brown sugar. Then I drizzled it with honey and popped it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. Keep in mind that every oven is different, so it might take a little longer. When I took it out, it looked absolutely irresistible. I definitely needed a little sweetness after my meal, and this hit the spot perfectly. Then I tossed in some sauce, so suddenly it felt like I was having a full-on Italian feast. I even added a splash of almond milk to make it a little creamy and indulgent. It turned out so tasty, and I was genuinely proud of my little kitchen creation. I piled my pasta, covered it in meatless meat sauce and veggies, added my salad on the side, and crowned it with a sprinkle of Romano cheese. I tossed some bacon bits and croutons on the salad for a little extra crunch. These had been sitting in the cabinet because Steve loved them both. I have to admit, this was my favorite meal out of all the ones I've made recently. The problem is, I love it way too much, and now my pasta is basically a charming little carb trap I need to escape from. I just had to look at the final product again because it was that good. And of course, I washed it all down with a glass of oat milk, my trusty creamy sidekick. Day 14 rolled around, and I kicked things off with some raisin bran and oat milk, my trusty breakfast sidekick. I knew it was going to be a busy day, so I planned something light to fuel me. Later, I was heading to a retirement dinner. I could already tell it was going to be a cleanish day, full of fancy adulting and maybe a few tiny bites of chaos. For lunch, I kept it simple with a yogurt, an apple, and some cottage cheese. Unfortunately, there's no photographic evidence because that was the day I left my phone at home. It was a pretty boring lunch, but I had a feeling things were about to get way more interesting. After school, I dashed over there right after bus duty, thrilled I didn't have to cook. I hung out with my partner in crime, Cynthia, and together we were just on a mission scouting out a good dinner. Being out and about with her made it all the more fun. Our dinner started with a salad and a dinner roll. I couldn't resist the roll, especially after it practically wiggled off the plate and begged me to put butter on it. Guilty as charged. I sometimes feel that when I'm out, it's not that all bets are off, but maybe I should make slightly better choices. Though honestly, that little roll totally won this round. I was the only one who picked meatloaf, and honestly, I was glad I did. Some of their choices didn't turn out so great, but mine, absolutely perfect. The meatloaf was, of course, well done, just the way I asked for it. It came with mashed potatoes and string beans and that mountain of onion rings. Don't worry, I didn't touch it. I heroically passed it on to one of my coworkers instead. Of course, I had some coffee, and the cake was buttercream. I was safe. I don't eat that stuff, so I dodged it. But the chocolates? Those little troublemakers followed me home, waiting for TV time, and I couldn't resist. Day 15. So I was heading to the shore for the weekend and realized I needed to fuel up. So I made myself a nice little pancake, added a dramatic but necessary slab of butter, and set the syrup in a separate bowl because a dry pancake is one thing, a soggy pancake is a tragedy. And to keep things balanced, I made my signature wellness tea. Ginger, turmeric, garlic, lemon, and honey. Clean living, baby. Pancake on the plate, syrup on the side, cleansing potion in the cup. That's the way I roll. While I was cooking, I couldn't forget my girl Buttercup. She loves pancakes, specifically with a little melted butter, because apparently she has standards. I know, clean living for Buttercup went out the window the moment she discovered dairy, but try telling her that. She wouldn't leave me alone while I was eating either. Every bite I took, she gave me that look like, "Excuse me, human, but I think you forgot the most important part of breakfast, me." I had to work that day, so I kept it classy with a salad, cottage cheese, and an apple for lunch. Basically, the diet of a responsible adult. Then it was time to hit the road. Don't worry, everyone. My brother bravely stepped in to feed Buttercup this weekend, and yes, she was treated like the royalty she is. After work, I drove down to the shore and landed in Atlantic City around 8:30 p.m. So I got down to my room, dropped my things, and my mission was clear. Find food. Naturally, I got distracted by a machine because priorities. A waitress came by and asked if I wanted anything, and I was like, sure, why not? Keep in mind, I drove by myself. Also, this was supposed to be a girls' weekend that got tragically canceled. But I just shrugged, shoved all responsibilities into a tiny mental box labeled "Do Not Open," and blissfully forgot everything. Next thing I know, I'm saying, Piña colada. Cheers, everyone. And of course, it came with a generous swirl of whipped cream on top, because if you're going to escape reality, you might as well do it with a little extra flair. And honestly, it was like the universe handed me a tiny vacation hug. Responsible adult? Maybe tomorrow. Tonight? Vacation mode, fully activated. The casino lights were practically hypnotizing me. I didn't want to leave the casino floor honestly, as I was one slot machine away from moving in permanently. Eventually, my stomach staged a protest, so I descended to the food court and emerged victorious with a grilled cheese. Yes, a grilled cheese. You might think that's a questionable choice for a late-night shore feast, but trust me, if you saw the rest of the menu, you'd understand. I basically made a gourmet-level decision under pressure. Well, come back next time for the next chapter in my journey of clean living. This time featuring my dinner at Capriccio's, which, let me tell you, was absolutely delicious. Did I stay on track and eat healthy? Was I a model of restraint, or did my taste buds stage a rebellion? Check in next time to find out as I continue this epic saga of healthy eating, questionable choices, and tiny victories along the way. You won't want to miss it. The fork's ready, and so am I.